Imperialism. Now we are going to learn what is imperialism, what are the reasons and impacts. Eventually, by the 19th century, most countries of Asia and Africa became colonies of the industrialized and capitalist nations in Europe by virtue of their superior technological power. Eventually means at last, by the 19th century. What is 19th century? 1800 to 1900. That's called 19th century. Most countries of Asian continent, African continent, Africa 54 countries, Asia 44 countries. So every continent will have so many countries. Almost most countries of Asia and Africa became colonies of the industrialists. What do we call these? Colonies is all about India became a colony of Britishers. If one powerful country comes and occupies another small country for their resources, raw material, that's what we call colonies. So of the industrialized and capitalist nations. What is industrialized? You can see industrial revolution took place in Britain, we know that. That's the industrialist nation. Capitalist nation, already we have seen what is the meaning of capitalist nation? Where the means of production with the private people, that's called capitalist nations. In Europe, people came and colonized Asian continent countries and African continent countries by strong of what is the strength? Their superior technological power. Technologically, they are more powerful than the so-called Asian continent countries and African continent countries. So, who colonized whom? Europeans colonized Asia and Africa because they are industrialized and they were all capitalist nations. And led to the political and economic control of weak country. Once they went and occupied, immediately they started control of political of the country. Not only political life of the country, but also economic. Political and economic both of the weak countries were controlled by whom? The powerful European countries. Who are European countries? British, French, Portuguese, Dutch, these are all European countries, Italy, these people are what? European countries. They went and occupied other countries for their own selfish ends by a powerful. So it led to the political and economic control of a weak country by a powerful one. A powerful country went and occupied a weak country. This is known as imperialism. So if I ask you what is known as imperialism, you must say the political and economic control of a weak country by a powerful one. So who? Powerful country wanted to control the political and economic of a weak country. That's what we call it imperialism. In other words, imperialism involved systematic control of territory, political system and economic life of a less powerful country by the more powerful ones. Let me repeat. In other ways, so imperialism can also be understood another way. What is one? Imperialism involved systematic control of territory. How in India they came as a trader, over a period of time they became a ruler of entire India. That's called systematic control of territory, political system and economic life of a less powerful country. Who is less powerful country economically, politically? Where people did not have full of poverty, they are less powerful country by the more powerful ones. Here one stands for countries. So powerful countries came and occupied less powerful countries by what? In a systematic kind of the territory occupied and political system occupied, economic life, everything is occupied. Almost everybody was at the mercy of this powerful one. This what do you call? Imperialism. Now let us learn what are the causes for the rise of imperialism. Why should one country go and occupy another country? There must be some reason. Or does anything happen without reason? Let us see what are reasons that led to the rise of imperialism. First one, the need for access. Access means what? Approachable. Anything you can approach, that's called access. The need for access to both resources and markets. They wanted to have resources and markets. What do you mean by resources? Suppose if I want to make sugar cane is a resource. If I want to make iron, the raw material, what do you call iron ore is a resource. If you want to make cloth, the cotton is a resource like that. That's called resources. And markets. Once you have produced cloth, so you take cotton from India, you convert the cotton into clothes, then you should have market to sell the cotton, the clothes. Then you will be able to encash money. By investing 100 rupees for cotton, you are able to convert the 100 rupees cotton to cloth, and that cotton must be sold for 200 rupees. Then you will be able to make profit extra 100 rupees. So for which they have to have what? Market. So resources and markets was necessitated, means required by large scale industrial development in Europe. So you know, first British, followed by France, Germany, these are all industrialist countries. They wanted to have lot of raw materials. For that sake only, they went and occupied not only resources but also markets, was necessitated by the large scale industrial development in Europe. Colonies provided cheap labor. There are three reasons. Why did they occupy, my children? The rise of imperialism. First one is the powerful countries, they did not have all the resources, and within their country they cannot sell all their products, and moreover they did not get cheap labor also. There are three factors: resources, markets, and cheap labor. Means in India a labor will be available for 100 rupees, whereas the same labor, if you want to go to recruit America, you will have to pay 1000 rupees. So that is the difference. 1000 rupees, 100 rupees, 110. So this is called cheap labor. First reason we have seen, these people went for imperialism, powerful countries. Why? First, access to both resources, markets, and at last cheap labor. These three reasons, that was the reason why those people went and occupied other countries. Second reason, having a large number of colonies became a symbol of power and influence. Let us take British. The British in those days, they were ruling almost 22 countries. East Indies, New Zealand for the matter, Australia for the matter, Canada for the matter, even America's 13 colonies for the matter, of course in the Indian subcontinent, even India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. These are all what? Controlled by them. So if a country is able to control other countries, it gave them a lot of power and influence. It was a prestige, a status, a dignity. So the second reason was, what is the second reason? Having a large number of colonies. Colonies are all about what? The weak countries became their colonies and became a symbol of power and influence. India was a colony of Britishers, whereas Indonesia was a colony of Dutch people, Netherlands people. They ruled for 200 years. Indonesia was ruled by Dutch people for 200 years. India was ruled by Britishers for 200 years. So this was all about, they made them lot of, not only they got resources, but also markets, but also they got cheap labor, and plus they got lot of status. What they was, it's a status symbol. Okay, that's the second reason, my children. Third one, the European nations considered themselves as a superior race. They thought that others are inferior, we are superior. Others are inferior, we are superior. As a result, they justified. When will you do justify? When you make a wrong thing, then you'll have to do a justification. When will you do justification? Once you made a mistake, you wanted to justify it. So one country should not go to occupy another country. But they occupied and they justified. How did they justify it? It was as a moral obligation to civilize the uncivilized ones in the East. It's our duty. Moral obligation means what? Moral duty to civilize. What is the meaning of civilize? What is the meaning of civilize? Highly educated people leading a happy life, a systematic life. That's called civilized people. The uncivilized ones. Uncivilized means what? People, barbarian. People do not know how to behave properly. People do not have formal education. That's called uncivilized ones. Means countries in the East. East means what? Eastern side of Europe. What is the eastern side of Europe? India is eastern side of Europe. That's why Western countries for India, Western countries Europe. For Europe, eastern countries are India and Pakistan, India, Indonesia, all those things. So come on. Third one, the European nations considered themselves as a superior race. They justified it as a moral obligation to civilize the uncivilized ones in the East. That's what they call white man's burden. In the name of white man's burden, they want to come and occupy, and they wanted to make those people not barbarians. They must be a civilized, decent gentleman. So this is what idea about it. We have seen what is imperialism, what is the definition of imperialism, and how did they control territory, political system, and economic life of a less powerful country. And we have seen three reasons for the rise of imperialism, my children.